in order to really be better lovers, if we take the time to really understand the intricacies of the things that work for us, um, that will enable us to be better in the bedroom. So yes, there are guys where they will get themselves off with this really intense death grip, and then when they see their partners, they can't orgasm anymore. So what I recommend to people who do that, is to use a masturbation toy. So like a pocket pussy, it's a little silicone device where it makes it, you basically, you can't grip your penis too hard because it's slippery. It's like the slippery thing. So I recommend using one of those. Masturbating, in different ways, trying to just go slower, or if you always masturbate using porn, listen to erotica, or look at pictures, or something. Just kind of change things up so that you can have some variety.
And are there things like, like no FAP, where it's like no masturbating for 30 days, or, you know, do these things work? Or do you find edging to be one of the better techniques to kind of to let a guy understand and kind of dial back the sensitivity? So it's not just, "Oh, I lost control, it happens." You kind of understand the warning signs, and you can
Yeah.
kind of switch up because I mean, there's plenty. You can go back to kissing, you can go back to going down, you can go back to whatever it is, change positions to give yourself that kind of break. But do you think edging is the best sort of self improve, the sort of skill development hack for guys?
I I think that it's definitely one of them. And you brought up no fap. So no fap is like, the concept of that is like going to go on, like trying to go on a crash diet, and then when you get off of the diet, then you binge everything because you haven't been eating, or you haven't been eating sensibly. Whereas the most sustainable way to actually lose weight is to just be eat in a way that is sustainable long term. So like the 80-20 rule, which is what a lot of people who are like into health and fitness, which is 80% of your foods, you make them good, right? They're whole grains, or they're vegetables and their meats, what have you. And then 20% can be whatever the fuck you want. It can be pizzas, it can be shakes. And the reason that is a good approach is because it's sustainable. It's something that people can do over time. Whereas no fap is like, it's extreme. It's extreme. And I think it actually sets people up for failure. I also feel like America sets people up for failure when it comes to like things like alcohol, right? We don't teach moderation with alcohol. We
Mhm.
teach we teach like don't ever drink, and then when you go to college, it's you binge drink. Yeah, so I think that by teaching this moderate approach with masturbation, which edging I would say is like kind of like a moderate approach. You can just kind of like lightly touch yourself every single day and just kind of enjoy that sensation and then go about your day. It doesn't necessarily have to lead to orgasm. It doesn't have to, it may not like create any negative habits, because you're kind of like slowly, you're slowly creating your ability to explore yourself.
And what's your opinions on using, like, if you're introducing more things like taking away somebody's sight with blindfolds, restraining somebody, how, because Kenneth, in his book, he was talking about how he had actually used to whip on somebody, but every time they doubted themselves.